All right, welcome back, everyone. It's Sunday sit-down time. I'm joined today by Fox 4's PJ Green. PJ, your first time on Sunday sit-down, right?
Right, first time. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, of course. Well, let's just get right into it. You've covered a lot of things in Kansas City, Chiefs, Royals, all of the above. So let's start with the Chiefs. Last week, a huge win against the Bucks. What are we taking away from that win?
I mean, everyone's takeaway is the offense is back, right? Mahomes, everyone's back on track. Even the running game came alive, throughout that game. So everything's back on track offensive-wise. Defense still held up pretty good against Tom Brady. They scored 31 points, but some of that kind of came late in the game when it was already put away. And plus, the Buccaneers kind of did them a solid by only running about 6 times throughout the game. So the defense still solid, offense is back. So that's everyone's takeaways. And the kicking game is back again with the new replacement kicker. So,
yeah, there's a lot of talk. Who's the hottest team in football? I think the Chiefs are up on that list. What do you think will keep that momentum rolling?
Just them doing the same things that they did last week. Keep the offense going. Defense has to stay solid. Just keeping that run. I think the running game is really the key to that offense. Just so like everyone is clicking, because Clyde, Coach Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator, he's talking about Clyde is doing much better than he's done in past years. He's much more focused in practice. Pat's much more focused and becoming a much more leader in practice. No Tyreek, so everyone's gonna have to have their fair share. So I think that's really the key to it, and just the defense holding up in that secondary with Trent McDuffie out for a while. So just consistency, which is what you'll hear from them as well.
Last week was filled with a Patrick Mahomes highlights. That play by the end zone, they couldn't get him down. Second AFC Offensive Player of the Week honor so far this season. We're only 5 games in. Just what have you seen from him this year compared to years past?
I think that he is more so letting the game come to him, just because that, his famous quote is, F it, Tyreek's down there somewhere. He can't really do that this year with Mecole. He tries some deep shots. They're not connecting on those quite as much. He's got more MVS and more juju, but his safeguard has always been Kelce, and it's always going to be Kelce. So I think he's letting the game come to him more. He's more prone to spread it around to even running backs, and he just knows that Kelce's his number one. So just spreading it around is what he's doing more so this year.
So speaking of Kelce, there's a talk of the best tight end in football I've seen all over Twitter, and they're kind of putting Kelce a little bit in the back seat with all of these new guys in the league. Do you think he's still up there in the top tight end talks?
Oh, most definitely. I think the age is kind of getting up to him. He's getting up there in age 32, so he's getting up there. But, some of these new tight ends, they still don't have the veteran savvy and the technical route running skills that Kelce has. You'll see him just run across the middle or just sit, but he knows that once he gets the ball, he knows how to transition upfield. He knows how to look for guys coming his way and how to get the most yards, but also take care of himself as well. So he's still one of the best tight ends in the league, and he's arguably the Chiefs' number 1 receiver still.
Well, let's look ahead till tomorrow. Obviously, a big divisional matchup with the Raiders. They're 1-3 on the year, but they've had some tough losses, close games. Andy Reid said earlier this week that we definitely can't count them out. So what do you think tomorrow is going to be all about?
It's Raider week, so throw everything out the window. The Raiders are going to come with their mightiest. Chiefs are going to come with their mightiest. It's just going to be about who can execute. Who can get that first down on 3rd and 2? Who can finish with the touchdown in the red zone instead of a field goal? Who's going to finish plays on offense and defense? That's all it comes down to. And I think the Chiefs will probably run away with it at some point, just because their talent level is just a tad bit above the Raiders.
Well, hopefully we get through tomorrow. But after that, there's some big-time games coming up. Bills, Titans, and Jags all coming up for Kansas City. Just what do you think they need to make sure that those games are winnable?
You really just keep doing what they're doing. Against the Bills, they might have to step it up. But I think Pat and Andy in this offense, I think they know the Bills pretty well. The defense is really going to have to put Josh Allen into check, just because they have a new OC. Josh Allen spreading it around the yard much more than he did last year. With his OC Brian Daboll, he did more quarterback run-esque, more run-based type offense. This year they're throwing all over the yard, so the defense is going to be ready for it. They're going to have to be ready for that versatility that the Bills offense brings.
Looking forward to what the Chiefs will bring. Let's switch gears now to the Royals. Obviously, I don't even think they got back to Kansas City before they made those fires earlier this week. Mike Matheny and Cal Eldred were let go. Just what was your initial thoughts on that?
Three seasons for Matheny. I think they could have gave him one more shot, but with Dayton Moore being kicked out the frame, then that kind of put the writing on the wall for Matheny. I mean, no winning seasons in 3 seasons, and no signs of improvement from the front office side. They said they didn't see any good improvements there, so it kind of felt like it was coming. So I mean, that's just the chips. The chips fell where they did for Matheny and Eldred.
What do you think's next for the Royals manager position? Or you think they're looking more internal? Do you think they'll bring in someone from the outside?
Just from looking at what writers and what front office people are saying, it looks like they're looking more internal. Just because they chose J.J. Piccolo to upgrade the president, so that's another internal candidate. And I think they'll probably do the same with the manager, just because number one is getting those young guys up to speed. Bobby Witt, Pasquantino, and everyone else, and then getting Salvi, make sure he's back up to speed and not getting injured like he did the past few seasons. So I think they'll probably look internal to see who can get these guys to be the most comfortable on the field and get them to play up to the max potential that the Royals know they can.
All right, PJ. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck at that game tomorrow. Hopefully the Chiefs are coming out on top. But for everybody at home, we'll have more coming up after this break.